Well, hello. uh, I've been reading a lot this morning and hesitating a lot to even begin this video, but I have things I need to do, so I've got to get going. The title that I've given is Humans Became Miscreants. A miscreant is a being whose DNA has been modified, changing the original creation into a slave in the case of humans. I believe we were created with much greater capacities than we now experience. We were dumbed down to make us ignorant and dependent. Legend has it that this was done by ETs who wanted to enslave us. Even Anastasia talks about this in the Ringing Cedars of Russia series. However it may have happened, they succeeded. To me, this is the original sin, not eating some forbidden fruit. It was not something we did, but rather something that was done to us. Nevertheless, we have been held responsible by the gods, the Nephilim, Anunnaki, Demiurge, or whatever they were called. If what I'm saying is true, it is required that the Creator, that the real Creator, from the beginning, help us by at least turning on the codons, genetic DNA code, that were shut off by the usurpers. Some interesting perspectives here, and I have the webpage Tricked by the Light, which I've been reading a lot of here this morning. In any case, I've been wrestling with the idea that much of what I've been taught all my life, much of what I've parroted back, has been, at the best, mixed with a lot of deception, a lot of lies. And it's not that I've wanted to be a liar. I told what I believed was true. But I'm coming to the realization that much of what I've believed was true isn't. It's part of the grand deception by this group of demons, fallen angels, Satan worshipers, whatever you want to call them, and their whole game plan has been control. While God's game plan, when I say God now, I'm meaning the Creator. The Creator's game plan has been liberation, has been to bring us to fulfillment. Not to limit us, not to enslave us, but to make us free. And there's the saying in the Bible, which I believe is true, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Someone added, but first it's going to piss you off. And I've gone through that pissed off stage, and so have many others. When we realize that we cannot place our confidence in not only what we've been taught and told is the truth, but we cannot even put our confidence in some of the insights that we think are insights, but they're really programming that's just being activated and feeding us the same line that was fed to our parents and our grandparents and our great-grandparents, and add as many greats as you want before that, going back thousands of years, perhaps 10,000 years, perhaps more. I think Anastasia says that it's about 10,000 years that they developed the slavery system using money as the slavery tool to do nothing more than to deceive. Because everything on this planet, according to some people that have been given insights, it was never intended that we have to pay to live on a planet. We were born free, and we were intended to be free, not enslaved. But everything was turned back on itself, and the usurpers, the demons, they took over. And as much as as much as that's difficult to understand, that's a concept, at least, that I'm grappling with, trying to get to the root of. But I realize that there's been things turned off in me that I don't have the gifts, powers, and abilities, talents and abilities that I thought I had, that I'd like to have. I'd like to be able to operate them and be a free man wherever I am, in whatever world I go to. But I'm not a free man in this world, and I have to admit that to myself, and that's hard. I'm not free. I have to now figure out how to get car insurance and pay almost a full month of my Social Security for 6 months of car insurance. I'm not free. I'm not free to travel from place to place, but traveling is one of my natural rights. Had a fellow that I listened to a little bit earlier today get on about how we can use common law to free ourselves. But then he starts going into believing in Jesus and the whole hook, line, and sinker of the same system that we've been enslaved by all of our lives, using religion as the enslavement tool. Now, I'm not saying there's no truth in religion. I've never said that. I will never say that. I don't believe there is truth. A lie that's outrageous is not going to be believed. There has to be truth mixed in with the lie to water it down, to get it to the place where we can believe the lie part of it and overlook the truth part of it. The truth is we are all created from the same source. I believe that's true. We all everything in creation comes from one source, the original creator, whatever that is. It's the original creator, the original God, if you will. And we will go back to that source. But our life in the meantime is a mishmash of all sorts of lies and deceptions and false pathways to take. I mean, everything is corrupted. And I mean, just look at the world. The worst people on the planet, whether they're human or something else, is irrelevant. The worst beings on the planet, the rulers, have no heart, have no compassion, have no love. They are tyrants and gross manipulators of everything. Look at the world that we live in. Look at the United States of America, what it has become. A nation of warmongers that spread war and dissension everywhere they go. Why? Because it's controlled by demon-possessed people, beings, whatever you want to call them. And getting out of that prison is a real challenge. And to me, because we had our DNA messed with, the only solution that's really going to ultimately work is to have those codons turned back on so that we come back into full capacity of what we were created to be in the first place, which Anastasia talks about in the Ringing Cedars of Russia series. And she demonstrated it. Now I'm running out of time. We had a man that came on and he supposedly could make the storms, the wind blow and make the water ripple by putting his hands in the water. I watched 2 of his videos. I wasn't convinced that he had any supernatural power at all. And what really got me is he believed that there is no light and there is no darkness. There's no accountability. We just play roles. And that's, ridiculous to me. Absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, I'd like to go on, and that'll be another video. I try to limit these to about 10 minutes. So thank you for listening, and namaste.